This is the group therapy part of the teaching. Are you all ready? Okay, but actually it's not participation. I'm just going to speak to you, okay? You are, okay? This is not a guess. This is not a speculation. You are somewhat to be looked at as you are the total of the influences of your experience. And that includes all inputs, which is most important is the people you spend time with. The more time you spend with people who are behaving in a certain way, the more likely you will start behaving in that way. That's the strongest level of influence. Think about what happens when children go from your house to out of your house to someplace like a going away school like college. And all the things they start doing outside of the house where those things were not being done. But now they're hanging out with a whole bunch of people doing all kinds of different things that they didn't do. And the influence of sex or drugs or some other things because it's around them all the time. You are going to be influenced. This I always love from a humorous point of view. So it's sarcastic, I guess. I always love when people come to me about, well, I still go to my Sunday church because, if I'm not there, then who's going to be there to help bring them out of there? I was like, that never works, and you're lying. You're there because you're not ready to leave. And if you really were trying to show them the truth, they'd have thrown you out. And you all know that's true. That person is very quietly sitting there enjoying fellowship because he doesn't want to leave, or she doesn't, whichever it is. He or she doesn't want to leave. I've heard almost zero stories ever in my life that I can even think of any, where anybody, by being in their old church, in any positive way influenced anybody to leave and find Torah observance. I've never heard it. I've heard of a lot of people get thrown out for asking questions about the Sabbath or the feast or kosher or whatever it is. I've heard a lot of people be told, you need to go. A lot of them were Sunday teachers too, Sunday school. And they were trying to teach the children some things that the older pastors that found out about said, excuse me, you cannot do that here. Don't you know that stuff was nailed to the cross, done away with, blah, blah, blah? So don't tell me, don't spin, all right? I don't spin, okay? You could try. I'm the immovable object. I don't spin. So don't spin the deal and try to convince me that you're there for them. No, you're there for you. You're too attached still emotionally to the people that are there. You've not recognized that that is not your family and friends. Your family and friends are in the body. When you get there, you'll get to meet them. You get to meet your family and friends. You don't know them yet if you're in that situation. When I was first poking your bubble and bringing you out of where you were, you haven't yet met your family and friends. You've got all these people you thought were family and friends, but you're going to go meet them. That doesn't mean you stop liking the people that were there before and you're not friendly to them. They're just in a different place than you are. And hanging out with them on a regular basis will potentially be dangerous to your walk. Period. If you, for example, I'm just going to use a very secular example, okay? Let's say, for example, you have a problem with certain language, certain words you think are inappropriate, all right? We're not going to decide whether that's right or wrong, but let's say there are certain words that you think are inappropriate. If you spend all your time with people who use them all the time, guess what you'll probably start doing? Using them. Don't think for a second that, oh no, Rabbi, not me. Oh yes, you. You don't understand the level of influence that you are receiving from the people that you spend your time with. And how much, because we are not strong enough individually to not be influenced. Oh no, I can do it. It's not gonna end well for you if you think so. None of us, I'm not picking on any of you, none of us are that strong. None of us, okay? Yeshua could go sit with the sinners and the publicans. You're not Yeshua yet, okay? Because they needed a doctor. You're not a doctor, not this kind of doctor, okay? He's the great physician. And so Let's just keep that balance properly. You know, when David's talking about this, I've hated falsehood and loathing and all these other things, he's not going to go spend time with these people. He feels very alone. We all do at times. He feels very isolated. You can hear that throughout the psalm. But you need to understand what you listen to, and I've said this a million times, you've heard every motivational speaker out there say the same thing. What you listen to, what you read, who you hang out with, is exactly who you will become. Change the inputs and the output changes. Garbage in, garbage out. Okay? Change the inputs.